Hello, this is Dinah Lane from Channel 18. Happy New Year, and I'm happy to be celebrating a little bit with two people from the Chase Library, Claire Guidone, who is the Executive Director, and Patty Twarwick, who is the Chair of the Board. And Happy New Year to both of you.
Happy New Year to you, Dinah. Thank you very much for having us today. We're excited to tell you all about the things we're doing for this new year.
Great, good. So Claire, I think you're going to start with an overview of the winter programming you have planned. Is that right?
Yes, I am. Obviously, because of the COVID restrictions in place, we cannot have any gatherings in the library. So we have come up with 6 Zoom presentations of various interest people, and we're hoping to attract a lot of people to participate in these programs. Our first one is scheduled for January 14th, and it is Sarah Ann Johnson, who is a Provincetown author. She previously wrote The Lighthouse Keeper's Wife, which was a very popular book in our library, and she also has written a new book which is called The Last Sailor. She has spoken at our library and was very entertaining. Then we have David Mould, who has written Postcards from the Borderlands, and it's a travelogue of history and culture, and he is, in this particular book, traveled through Asia and South Africa and Eastern Europe. And he speaks about borders as borders not only of countries, but of your mind. And on February 7th, we have Jeanette Beauvoir, who is also a Provincetown author, and she is a writer of mysteries set in Provincetown. She belongs to the Mystery Writers Group, and she will be speaking on This Is How I Write, her method to write. On February 25th, we have, I'm really excited about this one because I think it'll be of great interest to almost everybody that lives on Cape Cod. We have the Cape Cod Commercial Fishermen's Alliance giving a talk, and they will be speaking about how COVID has affected their industry and what they have done, such as fresh catch selling of their fish right from their boat. So that should be very interesting. And then as we approach spring on March 6th, we have Catherine Sita, who is a master gardener, who will be speaking about preparing your vegetable garden. And she will talk about soil preparation and plant selection. And last of all, on March 25th, we have Jane Healy, who is an author of historic fiction, and her new book is called The Secret Stealer. And we're very lucky because just shortly after she speaks to us, her book will be coming out. And it's about female spies in World War II. So we look forward to that too. And that is our schedule for the winter.
Wonderful. Well, I think maybe we're going to hear a little more in depth now about the first 2 speakers. Is that right?
That's correct.
Patty, would you like to speak about Sarah Ann Johnson, which is the first Zoom presentation?
Yes, absolutely. Sarah Ann is from Provincetown. She grew up there. She does interviews with authors. She is an author herself. She will be at the library via Zoom Thursday, January 14th at 4:30 in the afternoon. She will be talking about.
How do people access that? Could I just ask?
Oh, absolutely. These programs will be listed on our website, and we will ask people to just send us an email. And when they send us an email, we will send them the information that will connect them to the Zoom interview.
Okay. All right. Great. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's fine. That's fine. So while we're talking about that, I will just give the email address, which is Chase Library, capital W, capital H, @gmail.com. And I believe Claire is going to do some print publicity as well.
Absolutely.
So it will be on the library website and also in print publicity.
Great.
So to get back to Sarah Ann, our Provincetown writer, her current new novel, The Last Sailor, is sounds like a very interesting novel. She talks of grief, brotherhood, and redemption, set on Cape Cod in 1898.
Mm.
Three brothers grew up on Cape Cod, sharing lives together on the shore and on the water until one of them was swept away, and the lives of the other two changed dramatically.
Mhm.
Their dad asked them to make a sail from Boston to the harbor in Provincetown, and that was the first time the brothers had to work together again since the tragedy befell the family. And there were many unintended consequences of that. And I'm going to leave it there because
Very good.
it sounds like a very good book.
It sounds
really
very,
like a
very
good
interesting.
book.
Great.
So
Wonderful.
again, that's Thursday, January 14th at 4:30 in the afternoon.
All right. Great. So then next is David Mold. And Claire, you were going to speak about David.
Yes, David Mold is a historian, and he's also a TV and newspaper journalist. His books, he calls himself an accidental travel writer because as part of his work, he went to a lot of different places and began journaling what he saw. And it was not his intention to do this, but he began getting very interested in the history and the culture of the places that he visited. And so his latest book is called Postcards from the Borderland. And so he explores the meaning of borders in our world. Borders are not simply political or geographical. They are not marked by posts or walkways or fences. They are not part of countries. They're sometimes within countries. Sometimes they're determined by race, ethnicity, caste. They can be physical, they can be economic, they can even be perceptual, such as the borders of our minds. And David, in this last book, rambles through a dozen countries in Southern Africa and Eastern Europe, and he does it by bus, by taxi, and by ferry, and talking to people and exploring what borders mean to all of us. So I think that would be a very interesting program. He, on the publication of this book, offered free programs to libraries as his gift to us library people for the pandemic. So he is a pretty noted author, and we're very excited about having him.
Wonderful. That does sound really, really wonderful. Fascinating. Okay. Now, you were also going to tell us a little bit about how you are handling the books these days, and you're still doing curbside delivery, I understand.
Yes, we're still doing curbside delivery, and because of the governor's his guidelines for us at this point, we really cannot have people in the library. The Mass Board of Library Commissioners has also encouraged libraries to stick to curbside delivery, mostly for the safety of the staff, and which is appreciated. But we will continue to do that. We encourage people to call into the library. I'll give you the number. It's 508-432-2610. We would be glad to take your request for any book that you are looking for. At this point, most of the local libraries are only doing curbside. So if you see a book on clams and you want to ask if we have it, give us a call. We'll be glad to check for you. Our lists tend to be quite a bit shorter than the books and clams. We also would be glad if you don't know exactly what you want to read. We pretty much know the tastes of our readers. We'd be glad to bundle up a bag for you of things that we think that you would enjoy. So we encourage you to call, leave a message on the machine if we are not answering because we are not open. You can also give us an email. shout out. And as Patty said, the library email is Chase Library, capital W, capital H, @gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah, it does sound like a very good idea to call ahead. I know you have wonderfully personalized service. It's such a fabulous, fabulous experience working with you and asking for a book and even being guided to books that one might like. It's a wonderful thing that you do. But I would recommend, as you say, for people to call ahead, because now if you come looking for a book, you will be standing outside for a while, presumably.
Exactly.
And never knowing what the weather will be. It could be a lovely day and could be just fine, but probably best to check ahead.
Yes, we
And then
agree.
you can be prepared for us, the public. So that's great. Thank you. And then finally, Patty, did you want to talk a little bit about the need for donations at this time? I know, of course, you always need donations, and it's a tough time for everybody. So.
It is a tough time for everyone. Excuse me. It's a tough time for businesses. It's a tough time for organizations, and it's a tough time for all nonprofits. I will say that when we sent our annual appeal letter in the end of October, early November, people were quite generous, and we are very, very grateful for that. But there are ongoing costs for us with COVID precautions and everything else. And, you know, we needed to upgrade to a professional Zoom subscription so that we could present these talks to people. And so $5, wonderful. We're happy to get it, you know. So I just offer that. If you would care to do that, I would give you the address, which is Chase Library. It is P.O. Box 457, West Harwich, 02671.
And
We do not have a mail.
Is that on the
Pardon me?
website as well? Is that on the website as well?
We will make sure it is. I don't recall right now, but we will make sure that it is. We don't have a receptacle at the library, so it's P.O. Box 457, West Harwich.
Okay.
And we're grateful for anything.
That's good to know, because I know your big author talks, you know, in the past have been in person, and authors luncheons and teas and so forth, I'm sure were very, very important for helping to sustain your work. And so.
Yes, and large book sales. We
Oh,
didn't have those all summer long
That's
either.
right. That's right. Yes.
So,
So it's quite a changed landscape, as we say, for everyone, but this
for
is
everyone.
clear for you, and it's important for people to understand that. So it's great if people are able to help. That would be wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much, Patty and Claire. I really appreciate your coming on and talking about all the great things that you have planned. And
Thank you.
you've pivoted very well into this pandemic ongoing season. And I know there's a lot to look forward to there. So I hope to talk with you again soon when you have more to share. And thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Dinah Lane from Channel 18 in Harwich. Thank you.